Robert Kiyosaki, best known for Rich Dad Poor Dad, champions financial education and the idea of creating assets. Now, he's voicing concerns about FedNow, the Federal Reserve's instant payment system. While FedNow promises seamless transactions, Kiyosaki hints at a more covert control over our bank accounts. Let's explore his perspective. So you've probably heard of the Federal Reserve. It's America's central bank, the big institution that sets monetary policy and tries to stabilize the country's economy. It's been around since 1913, so it's part of the furniture when we're talking U.S. financial system. Now, let's get into something fresher, the FedNow service. Picture this. It's a Saturday night, and you must send money to a friend. Traditional banking systems might make you wait until Monday, or longer, for that transaction to clear. Frustrating, isn't it? Well, that's where FedNow steps in. Launched by the Federal Reserve on July 20, 2023, this service is working towards making payments instant, secure, and available around the clock, 365 days a year. It's like the Fed's answer to modernizing the U.S. payment system, keeping pace with our want-it-now world. And what are the goals here? At a glance, it's about real-time payments. Imagine sending money as easily and quickly as sending a text. That's the dream FedNow is chasing. It wants to ensure that when you pay for something, the money moves and zips from your bank account to the other party's account in real time. No more waiting or payment. Kiyosaki doesn't take things at face value, especially involving money and control. You might be wondering, why would the Federal Reserve want to control my bank account? Well, it's not necessarily about peeking into your spending habits. Kiyosaki's perspective hints at a bigger picture. In a world where digital payments are rapidly becoming the norm, ponder. Is it just the next step in modern banking, or are we, perhaps without realizing it, handing over more control of our finances to a centralized authority? Interesting to think about, isn't it? All right, so let's delve deeper into what Robert Kiyosaki has while now. If you've followed his works, you'd know he's not exactly a fan of putting all your trust in a single, giant system. His take? The more centralized the power, the more risk for regular folks like us. Think of it as putting all your eggs in one basket. Not the wisest move, right? Now, let's discuss. And then there's the whole, what's going on behind the scenes thing with FedNow. Kiyosaki's been vocal about the service's operations being a tad shadowy. It's not just about fast payments, it's about who's pulling the strings and what they're doing out of our sight. He's hinting at a watch the watcher scenario. If the Federal Reserve is keeping an eye on our money with FedNow, who's keeping an eye on them? And that's the big question. Like, isn't it curious? Forbes reports that FedNow serves 10,000 plus financial institutions in the Federal Reserve network. Private money transfer applications such as Venmo and Cash App are yet to be integrated into this system. However, this sword has a potential double edge. Could this efficient system also function as a surveillance tool? The Federal Reserve could monitor transactions with real-time processing, providing a detailed and instantaneous picture of money flow across the economy. Data's influence in today's world is undeniable. By overseeing a real-time payment system like FedNow, the Federal Reserve could glean insights into individual financial behaviors. This data might enhance monetary policies but also poses serious privacy issues. With the central bank, this innovation warrants thorough reflection and public dialogue. Now, let's be fair and flip the coin for a moment. The Federal Reserve isn't just twiddling its thumbs while critics like Kiyosaki voice their concerns. They've been vocal in responding to such claims. The Fed emphasizes that FedNow is designed to be a secure and efficient service for all, aiming to meet the public's demand for instant, round-the-clock payments. They assure us that they're committed to privacy and security. They talk about regulations and compliance checks in place to protect data and prevent misuse. It's their way of saying, we've got this under control. What's your gut feeling about that? On another front, we've got a slew of financial experts who are all in for FedNow. To them, this isn't just a new toy, it's a necessary evolution. They argue that in this digital age, where we can order food, hail a cab, and stream a movie in seconds, why should money be any different? In an article published by AP News in April, it was disclosed that Aaron Klein, a senior fellow in economic studies at the Brookings Institution, conveyed via email to AP that FedNow is not intended to replace physical currency. Instead, it represents an enhancement to the long-standing payment infrastructure. Klein also highlighted that adopting opinions. Where do you stand in this panorama? It's one exciting debate, isn't it? Let's zoom out a little and think globally. The US isn't the lone ranger here. Many countries are galloping toward real-time payment systems. From the UK's faster payments to Sweden's Swish, nations around the globe are revamping the way money moves. It's like a financial race, with countries vying to be at the forefront of payment tech. Can you picture that? A world where money travels almost at the speed of light? So, how are other countries approaching this? Take a peek at India, for example. They've got a system called UPI, Unified Payments Interface. It's slick, it's quick, and it's user-friendly. It's like sending a text, but you're sending money straight from one bank account to another. And guess what? People love it. It's like seeing a friend across the room at a party and zipping right over, except that friend is your money, and that party is the entire banking network. Do you wish your money moved? Let's take a personal view for a moment. First, let's consider privacy. In this high-speed digital transaction era, each purchase leaves a trace. A coffee, fuel, an impulsive online buy. Is having your financial actions closely monitored comfortable? Now, the balance we tread. Convenience versus control. Is the allure of instant payments eroding our independence? Do we reach a juncture where we ponder, is my money truly mine? So, what's a person to do in this brave new world? One step, your choices, and your life. What chapter do you want to write for yourself in the evolving story of money and technology? All right, folks, let's wrap this up. If this conversation sparked a bit of curiosity or got you nodding along, do us a favor. Hit that like button, give a share, drop a comment, and, most importantly, subscribe. Your engagement keeps these conversations going.